Jesus is addressing, we need to pray that when Jesus does a record checkup on us, that he'll say good things about our pastor, that he is being the watchman, that he is warning us, that he is making sure that false doctrine is not allowed in the church. And we get to next week, well, yeah, we'll get to it next week, Lord willing. Who knows? But we'll be dealing with Thyatira, church at Thyatira, and I mentioned this last week. That church is guilty of the same thing, but it gets into another area of false doctrine dealing with Jezebel. And I'm going to give a little history behind Jezebel because it's like Balaam. Some of you may not really know how Jezebel, why she is used as or that name is used as an example. But go ahead.
Jonathan Kahn he posted his most recent thing yesterday, and he's talking about this very thing that you are this time, because it's about the churches.
Well, I'm going to step out on a limb a little bit. I really, right now, in my heart, feel like that the reason the church age ends when it ends is because the church has quit doing its job.
Yeah.
That it's run its course, it's done, it's no longer doing its job because of these very issues that we're dealing with. It's become, unless things change, I mean, you look at the number of, how many people do you know of that are now superstar Christians? When I was growing up as a teenager, we had the Bible. Very few other preachers did we ever follow except evangelists came through and taught about Revelation. You know, that put this big banner across the platform. But today, there are superstars everywhere. And that's the problem. If we're calling them superstars, that's already an issue. That's part of the issue. If we look at them as being super spiritual, they're no different than any of us.
No.
They have the same challenges, same temptations that we do. And they're just as vulnerable as we are because they do want to accept. Because I'm sorry, Ron, but another thing I see with pastors is sometimes they're put over here and they can't feel like they are part of the group so much because they got to live up to a stand or appear, not live up to it. They have to make the appearance that they are higher or better spiritually or stronger spiritually. That's just part of what kind of goes, I believe, with, I'm not a pastor, but I'm just assuming that they have to at least have an appearance of that. Go ahead, Ron.
An evangelist friend of mine was starting a revival in the church, and he said, Brother Ron, the pastor called me into the office before the service, and he said, whatever you do, don't preach anything about the blood, and for goodness sake, don't mention sin. It will offend a lot of people in my church. He said, Brother, he took away everything I was going to preach.